Point number 12, remove barriers to pride in work. So we allow everyone to take pride in their work without being rated or compared with the other co-workers. So if they will feel they are treated equally, and they don't have to, or we didn't make that this worker compete with their colleague for monetary rewards or other rewards. So over the time, the quality system will naturally raise the level of everyone's work to an equal high level. Okay, then number 13, implement educations and self improvement. So uh, we encourage worker to have more skill in order to improve the current skill of workers. So we need to send this worker for training, and we encourage them to learn a new skill and prepare for future changes lah. Because in future we do not know what are the difficulties or the challenges will happen, and build skill to make workers or workforce more adaptable to the changes and better able to find and achieve improvement in futures. Okay, then the last point, put everyone to work on the transformation, meaning that in order to improve overall organizations, so we need to have each person to take a step forward quality, meaning everyone needs to have their small step in order to improve quality. And so how this small step will bring together to the bigger pictures lah. And at the same time, we need to use, or we need to adapt with the uh, change management principles, because in futures, new challenges, new trends, and we need to change to adapt with the changes. Okay, now we move to 7 concept of TQM. So here we have continuous improvement, Six Sigma, employees empowerment, benchmarking, just in time, Taguchi concept, and knowledge of TQM. Okay, let's go through let's go through one by one. The concept of TQM. The first one on continuous improvement. So it represents continuous improvement in all processes, and whereby it also involve all operations and work center, including suppliers as well as the customer. So for example, people will include into the process, equipment, what kind of equipment that suitable, or that makes apa task to more efficient, and what are the materials that will create a quality product, as well as the procedures. Okay, how to continuously improve the process or the quality. Okay, so we use PDCA model. So P stand for plan, D stand for do, C stand for check, and A stand for act. Okay, at the planning level, we need to identify the patterns and make the plan lah. And second one, do the test on the plan whether it is work or not. And the third one, check is the plan working, if it's working. And act, the next stage, act, implement the plan document. Okay, let's go through plan. Okay, when at this stage, you will literally plan what need to be done depending on the project size. Planning can take a major part of your team's effort, and it will usually consist of smaller steps so that you can build a proper plan with a fewer possibilities of failures. So before you move to the next stage, What you need to do is that you answered some the basic concerns about what is the core problem that we need to solve. For example, if you notice that your sales is drop down the sale in sales, so that is the problem. So how to solve this problem? So start with plan lah. So we identify the core problem is dropping in sales. Okay, so what resource do we need and what resources do we have in order to deal with the problem, and what is the best solution for fixing the problem with the available resources? So how to fix this problem with what we have, resources that we have. In what conditions will the plan be considered successful, and what are the goals? So keep in mind that uh, this you and your company may need to go through the plan a couple of times before it being able to proceed. So we do revisions lah on this case. In this case, it is appropriate to use a technique for creating and maintaining open feedback loops. So we want to know what are the problems. We want to know what are the causes. So how we want to tackle this problem. So what are the resources that we have? After you have agreed on the plan, so it's time to take actions. Okay, at this stage, you will apply everything that has been considered during the previous stage, which is planning stage lah. So we need to be aware and unpredicted problem may occur at this stage, at do stage. This is why in a perfect situation, you may first try to incorporate plan on a small scale and in a controlled environment lah. And standardization is something that will definitely help you and your team apply the plan smoothly. Then it is important to make sure that everybody knows their roles and responsibility lah in implementation ataupun do stage. Okay, check. Number 3, check. Is the plan working or not? So it is probably the most critical stage lah ataupun important stage of PDCA cycle, whereby we want to clarify the plan and avoid recurring mistakes and apply continuous improvement successfully. So we need to pay attention to the check phase where it is the time to audit the plan tadi, plan executions, and see if initial plan are actually work or not. And moreover, whether we are able to identify problematic parts of the current process and then eliminate them to the futures lah. So that is the step by step for the check. Ataupun if something goes wrong during the process, so what we need to do is that we have to analyze from the root cause of the problem itself. Okay, number 4, then the last stage is act stage, or the implement the plan document. At this stage, the previous stage we developed, we applied and check the plan. Now we want to act. Okay, if everything seems perfect and we are managed to achieve original goals, then we can proceed with the plan tadi yang kita dah buat at the first stage. So it can be appropriate to adapt the whole plan if objectives are met. Respectively, the PDCA model will become the new standard baseline lah after we go through the process. And however, every time we repeat the standard plan, so we need to know that it is this process we will go through all over again. Second concept is Six Sigma program, where it is originally developed by Motorola and adopted and enhanced by Honeywell and GE. And it is highly structured approach to process improvement, where it involves a strategy, where it also involves a discipline. Six Sigma model, we do have this approach, DMAIC approach, where the first step we need to define a critical output and identify gap for improvement. And second step, we want to measure the work and collect a process data. The third step, we have to analyze the data and then we improve the process. And the last stage is control the new processes to make sure that the new performance is maintained lah. That is on implementations of Six Sigma in the Six Sigma approaches. Okay, and Six Sigma implementations, the first part or the first point is we want to emphasize defect per million opportunity as a standard metric, and we want to provide a very extensive training for the workers and focus on corporate sponsors. Alright, and next one, we create a qualified process improve expert. So in this stage, we do have black belt, green belt, and so on. And then we set stretch objective. Okay, so all these things, this implementation cannot be accomplished without a measure commitment from the top management lah. Okay, next concept we have employee empowerment. So getting employee involved in product and process improvement is very crucial nowadays, and 85% of quality problems are due to the process as well as the materials. That's why we have the new approach is empowered the workers, empowered the employee. So how to do that, or the techniques to empower? The first one is build communication networks that includes employee. So we need to have two ways communications with the employees. And second one, develop open and supportive supervisors, so that the management can help the employee to empower ataupun to give power to decide on to make decisions on a certain areas. Okay, move responsibility to employees, meaning that employees can make decision on behalf of the employers ataupun supervisors, and build a high moral organization at this stage, and create a formal team structures lah. That's how we build employee empowerment. Next concept is quality circle. Circle is a group of employees who meet regularly to solve problem, and they are trained in planning, problem solving, as well as statistical method that often leads by facilitators lah. And very effective, and it is very effective when it is done properly. That is for quality circle. Okay, the other concept of TQM, we have benchmarking, where we select best practices to use as standards for performance. We follow the best practice. Okay, so how to do this? First we need to determine what to benchmark, whether the process, whether the procedures, the outcome, ataupun the industries. And the second one, form a benchmark team. So who will do this benchmarking? The benchmarking team lah. And the third one, identify benchmarking partners and collect and analyze benchmarking information, what we want to benchmark, and take action to match or exceed the benchmark lah. whether it is match or we are exceeding the benchmark.